Now here for reaction to this is Texas Congressman and member of the House Armed Services Committee, Pat Fallon. Congressman, thank you for joining us. I mean, of all the things, you know, the Taliban taking their victory parades, the Taliban in our Humvees, holding our guns, but to send it to Iran for an Iranian victory parade, this has got to make your blood boil as well as the rest of the American people, does it not?
Eric, yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm absolutely furious because it was entirely preventable. I mean, the difference between President Trump's policies and Biden's are startling. President Trump, when we pulled out our special forces out of Syria, they left only tents and poles, and he was furious about that. He didn't want even he told John Ratcliffe he didn't want a styrofoam cooler left in Afghanistan if it had an American flag on it. And for Biden to leave $85 billion worth of equipment is absolutely criminal.
Congressman, you know, I'm seeing these videos of these Taliban members walking around and they're proudly displaying the hundreds of thousands of guns that we've left behind, all the equipment we left behind, and they're putting this out as propaganda. And I'm just thinking, what would it take, and why don't we do this, to fly an armed drone over one of these piles and drop a bomb into that and destroy the equipment that's ours while they're so victoriously laughing in our faces? Is that a bad idea?
In fact, I think it's a great idea. The challenge is, and it's absolutely doable, is it's about an 8-hour flight now. So the drone would would use about 75% of its fuel just getting there and back and only have an hour or two over target, which is sufficient time. And that's why 40 Republican veterans went back to Washington, D.C. last week to ask Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats to do just one simple thing. It was H.R. 5127 filed by Mike Gallagher from Wisconsin, and it said 4 things. Number 1, we want a full accounting of all the weaponry that's there right now. Number 2, we're not going to recognize the Taliban. We're not going to give them any money. And we want a plan to get our Americans out. And they gavelled it down, Eric, and they wouldn't even let us present it. There was nothing. There was no hearing, no action taken at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we hear, Congressman, we've got to go, but now we hear that the Taliban may be holding some Americans hostages, at least on those planes that they stopped, until we officially recognize them as a legitimate government. Guys, I got to tell you, if those clowns in D.C., your Democrat counterparts, if they do that, they're in for a beating in 2022. So we'll look forward to that. Congressman, we'll get you back on again very soon. Pat Fallon, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Eric. God bless. Take care.